The Twilight Forest is actually a dimensional mod. The dimensional mods are well known for, well, of course, their dimensions. This one doesn't actually require any added mod, like supporting mod. Core mods, libraries, like a library, or Code Chicken, Animation API. Doesn't require any of them. But when entering into the mod, it's best to have a mod pack with it. Like, I don't know, say Wyla, which allows you to look at a block and tell you what it is. Or let's say you wanted to have it as an adventure, as it's supposed to be, not a, oh cool, a boss, let me insta kill it. No, it's actually more of a. The mod is nice to play when you're about the stage when you're full diamond. It's not like required to be that level, but it's more fun that way to have the game be like that. The whole mod is a progression system, so you have to battle each boss in a specific order. There's a specific item that you get when you add a raven's feather with glowstone and glowberries, a new item there, and that gives you like a specific quill. If you add the quill with an ink sac and paper, you could get a map, but the map is used to show you where the bosses are. It's not necessary, but in my opinion, it's more fun exploring the area instead of like using a map, looking around and trying to get it quickly over with. Another thing you should do is add, like, even if it's gonna be the only mod you have there, it's best to have, like, not enough items, not enough resources. Just mods like those to really make it a fun mod pack. You don't want to be halfway through the game when you're battling one of the bosses and you just so happen to figure out, oh, I have no idea what to do in this maze. I have no idea what to do in this biome or something like that. So the mod is is extremely well known and is underrated, as I've seen by most people. People either take it for granted, as for some YouTubers. I'm not calling anyone out, but really, it bugs me that people don't understand like the mod is actually about. They just go, "Oh, cool, a cool mob. Yeah, let's commentate about it for about 20 minutes and not carry on with the video." Moving on, the different mods are also for different versions. If you're using version 1.7.10, which I personally like to use, it would be better to have Bibliocraft on it. And just a tip, never have shaders on with the Twilight Forest. Unless it's specifically designed for it, it's never advised to have any dimensional mod with shaders. For 1.12, they add in extra trophies and extra items. Now, I'm not going to say any spoilers for the Twilight Forest, so if you don't want to hear any of them, you should move to this timestamp right here. Okay, so the Twilight Forest goes like this. When you enter into the portal, you are confronted with a Naga. It's a giant snake-like creature. It drops Naga scales, which can be used into armor. I personally hate using like relic like items, like the atom. I never use the artifacts. I always put them in cases or item frames, and you can use it perfectly fine. It's not it's all your opinion. You don't have to do everything I tell you, but I'm just saying what's best for it. Now, now, next on, you get the Lich. The Lich has three different scepters. Actually, four if you consider the new version that they added. Each one of them are all. Each one of them can be used to require to get the next area. The way to battle the Lich is not brute force, almost like the Naga, but instead is to hit back all the ranged projectiles, but not the orange ones, which explode. The next boss is almost like a mini boss, but is required in the progression of the Twilight Forest, is the Minotaur. The Minotaur is in a giant labyrinth, which is fun to do normally, but I see numerous YouTubers who just go through using a map or their mini map in using another mod that shows you a map at the corner. But when you finally find it, this does take quite a while sometimes. It it's fun to battle it just regularly, not make a hole and shoot it with an arrow. Yes, you can die numerous times if you aren't prepared enough, but come on, it'll be more fun than shooting through a tiny little slot and then getting the achievement. Around in the center of where four Minotaur areas are, you almost always have a red biome, a fiery biome. This biome has a giant mountain in the center, hollowed out mountain with the Hydra in it, the next boss. This boss is much harder than any of the others that are here. Actually, compared to the Urghast, it's about the same. So with there's no real tactic to it. Going close will get you burnt. Going further away, hitting the fireballs that it shoots at you back is a meh strategy, but you can get by it. It has a lot of defense is just is almost it's like one of those bosses that's like the Wither. There's no real tactic to it unless you consider putting it in a cave or putting it under bedrock to suffocate it. The next boss is in a snowy area. No, wait. It's in a dark forest. The dark forest blinds you if you ever enter it in the wrong order. If you ever enter a biome in the wrong order, it gives you a nasty defect, and you can't break any block in the area. So this one, now I said not to use the map, but it's best to use the map for this one. It's just plain old annoying to find these little tiny stronghold like areas made of umber cobble. They're never fun to find, and it's best that you use them like it's best that you use the map for this one. So with this one, when you enter in, you find in the chests numerous metal scraps, not netherite scraps, no, night iron, which is like an I'm not gonna say ore, but like an ingot that you find there. It's what all all the mobs that are supposed to be from that area drop. You will eventually find an obsidian ring covered with iron bars and 6 tombs like there. You have to break through the iron bars and into the area. This labyrinth of sorts is much harder than the one in for the Minotaur, which is surprising, being the actual labyrinth is less hard than a regular maze. So with this one, you just have to attack the other one, the other ghosts, the other 5 ghosts, and then you have to kill the main ghost. You can't damage it until the other 5 are gone, unless you have the Sword of the Cosmos or something. So when you defeat that, you either get a trophy or a whole load of weapons from made out of the knight's armor, like the knight ingot. In the center of 4 of those dungeons in the Dark Forest, there's an oranger patch with a giant tower for the Urghast. The Urghast's maze is the hardest in the mod, and for me, is known as one of the hardest dungeons I've ever come across. And I've gone through Advent of Ascension ones, Erebus ones, numerous dungeons, but this one is near impossible without properly understanding what it is. Now, this dungeon is just painstaking. So you can fly to the top or nerd pole, but again, as I've mentioned before, it's not as fun to do so. The Urghast is hard to do. It's required to have a bow of some kind, unless you have the morph mod or extra utilities where you have an angel ring. But even then it's hard. So some of the things you have to do is go through each corner and step on a pressure plate where it's a machine at the very top. When stepping onto it, a whole lot of gas will spawn in, carbonite gas, tiny ones, and you have to kill all of them, and that will bring the Urghast closer so that you can shoot it easier. When you kill it, you get carbonite, which is used for the fiery set, another armor set that is about as strong as diamond. I'll go more in depth on the next video, on the part 2 of the Twilight Forest explanation, which is more not of a talk, but more of a preview of everything. Now, after this, you go to a snowy area. Sorry, I got confused before. Yeah, a snowy area. In the snowy area, you have 4 giant square mountains with a giant ice block in the center. Now, you have to go into one of those snowy mountains first, where the Alpha Yeti is. The Alpha Yeti is, it's almost another mini-boss, per se. Now, killing it can get you the armor set, but you have to kill quite a few to get the entirety of 24 to craft the full armor set. Now, when you go into the other area, is known as the Snow Queen, in the center. The Snow Queen is the last boss for now. The mod has never truly been finished, and will most likely be finished quite soon, actually. Now, I'll explain later what happens. So, the Ice Queen is... So, the Ice Queen's castle is just up, going up. If you ever... There's numerous ways to go up, about 8 per se. And if you ever enter all the way up, you only have a chance of that being the Ice Queen. Every castle does have the Ice Queen. It's just Sometimes at the very top there's a chest full of uncraftable weapons and armor, but sometimes it's the Ice Queen. Now, it's best to just, now, even for me, it's best to just nerd pole up or fly, go to the tallest one, and vein mine or excavate the top area. Another mod that allows you to break a whole lot of blocks. Now, the final area of Twilight Forest is like three progression things that you have to do to get to the area. Three, per se. Now, you have to go into this thorn like area, like a mountainous area with coarse dirt everywhere, and pine trees. Now, you have to go into one of those clouds at the top. It's a giant cloud with a house on it. You have to go up, and you have giants, which are just your skin, but 10 blocks tall. When you kill both of them, the one with the sword and the one with the pickaxe, you can now go to the bottom and break underneath. You have to keep searching through these like almost catacombs until you find like five obsidian areas. Four of the obsidian areas are made out of actual obsidian. But if you've noticed, at the top of the giants area, you have giant cobblestone, giant leaves, giant wood, giant. So in the center is giant obsidian. You break using the giant's pickaxe. It takes a long time to the center, and you get the lamp of cinders. Now, you can do it in a different order. Instead, you find the obsidian areas, you get the magic beans, grow it up, and then get to there. But that's how I do it. You don't have to do it that way. Now, when you get the lamp of cinders, it's meant to be what you do to get past this giant ring of thorns around the next castle, the final stage before entering the castle. Now, entering into it, you can fly, you can place blocks around it. Yeah, yes you can, but come on, it ruins the entire experience. Now, using the lamp of cinders, you can break the unbreakable, quote unquote, like thorn blocks. There. Now, when you go through, now note this mod is still in a work in progress and has not been finished yet. So when you enter in, you're gonna have a whole load of mobs, and once you go through the giant castle and get all the way to the top, you're gonna have a weird purple force field, sometimes made out of fence also, and that's it. You have a sign that says, final boss here, you win. Or you have a data pack where it adds in a kobold, one of the mini mobs in the Twilight Forest, which is part of a dungeon that you find, like a giant spherical mound. And that's it. It has like a thousand health or something to make it seem like a boss. So that's really the explanation here. Now, from now on, because due to the timestamp, I'm now going to be talking about like a non. I'm now going to be talking about a little more about it, such as the mods you should add into it. Okay, now either you've skipped to this time frame to understand what it is, what this mod is about, but without getting any spoilers, or you're here to actually understand how to download it, how to download the mod in the first place, or to see what mods would actually go well with it. So, the mods that should go well with it are like the usual mods, like Wyla, not enough items. I mentioned a few of these before, but almost always never have a one mod pack, unless you're a vanilla Minecraft player and you just add Optifine or something. But that's besides the point. You should always have at very least like 2 dimension mods, maybe even 3 for each mod pack. There's no there is an adventure with it, but some of them really do require something new. You can't be going around the nether like doing the exact same things and say, "Oh, I'm playing modded Minecraft." You do have to have something different, such as the Between Lands, having the Aether. Aether is actually a really good example. It gives you another world with another progression system. This is what the Twilight Forest is trying to achieve. Never have a one mod pack, or at very least one that actually does something to the game. So, some of the mods you could add are ore spawn. If you're doing a 1.7.10, try ore spawn with it, or have the Between Lands with it, or the Aether, or the Atom, as I mentioned before. There are so many other things you can add into it that makes it much better. Try the Electrobob's Wizardry, Grimmal's Agea 3. There are so many extra things you can add onto it to make it better. Now, from this point on, I'll be talking about how to install the mod. Now, if you want to install mods, that will be on a different video I might send out later on. I don't know. I'm still getting used to this. Now, for getting this mod, this is a bit of advice before making the other video. Never try and get it from a website you don't know. You might click on a link that says, get free mod from Minecraft, and don't click on those. Try something reliable. Most of you might know like an app known as Twitch. It's a reliable website, and trust me, this isn't one of those advertisements. They never paid me to do this, and I only have like 1 subscriber right now. So anyway, the twitch.com and the app are really good for mods. If you actually download the app, you can actually get a mod pack or create one of your own. It's not that well known, and maybe Asian Half Squat might have talked about it once or twice. I don't really know, but honestly, use that, or if you know a website like 9Minecraft, but be careful, okay? I don't want that one person to come to me and say, "Hey, you got a virus. I got a virus because of this." Well, I did warn you, okay? So that's why you should always try and use a trusted site, such as Twitch. And yes, I'll be explaining how to use Twitch as like a modded sort of thing later on in another video. But till then, see you in the next video. Now, I've not been around for long time, and I doubt anyone's about to see this in a long time. So please comment, see if you like what it is. If you don't, it doesn't. You have your opinions, I have mine. It's all good. Okay, bye.